Hello again, I am Blunty. Yesterday, of course, I picked up Pokemon Ultra Moon, which we streamed for 8 hours straight yesterday, and I found to be quite pleasant. A much more frictionless experience than the original Pokemon Moon. My light is blinking on and off. Might be going faulty. That could be a problem. Anyway, also picked up Skyrim for the Switch at the same time because as I was waiting for it to be time to go and pick this up tomorrow morning, I was watching some early video impressions and comparisons and things like that about Skyrim. Never played Skyrim the first time round. It was gifted to me on Steam around about the announcement of this, because we were talking about on one of my streams, said, are you going to get Skyrim for the Switch? I said, well, I've never played it, and someone gifted it to me on Steam because it is quite cheap on Steam, and I never really played it much. I played like the first sort of tutorial bit and a bit of the first mission and stuff, and I always meant to go back to it and get a sort of grounding in Skyrim before I played it on the Switch, so I had a more solid point of reference for comparison's sake. And I know what you're thinking, if I already own it on Steam, I didn't even have to pay for it myself, and I've got a big badass rig back there that can run Skyrim completely maxed out at 4K, 60 frames a second, nailed to the door. Why would I want to get it on Switch? Well, for the obvious reason that I want almost every game that comes out these days on Switch. I travel a lot, I sit at my desk, I lie on my bed, I like to game where and when I choose, and the Switch is a fantastic little beastie for that. We don't need to go over it again, it's been discussed to death. Everyone says the same thing. Anytime a new game comes out, people are like, oh, is it coming on Switch? South Park, The Fractured But Whole, when I was streaming that for 2 days straight, just every hour or so, someone would come in, oh, I wish this was on the Switch. Me too. So, Skyrim, I figure if I'm going to give it a go at last, I might as well get it on the Switch, because then when I'm traveling, I can play it on the plane or in airports, I can lie in bed and play it at night and grind away and collect ingredients, or I can stream it from the setup here at the desk and everything. So the intent was to play this today on stream, and we still are. Still the intent. It's not past tense. The intent is to play this today on stream. So, last night, I plopped the cartridge into the Switch, made sure it was patched, because there is a day one patch, which I'm not sure exactly what it does. I haven't read up on it, but I do know it also allows the new video recording feature on the Switch for this game, which is nice as well. That little 30-second video recording thing I did a video about. So I just wanted to make sure the game was all ready for the stream. Patched, ready, running, everything, and sort of familiarize myself with the controls, so I wasn't sort of super stumbling around with it at the start of the stream. Still getting used to the controls. They're very awkward. I think I might have to reassign them. But here's the thing. Skyrim made me sick. And I mean, literally, it made me sick. I felt woozy, nauseous, sweaty, clammy. And I think I know why. It's because this game on Switch is locked to 30 frames per second. It is primarily a first-person game. Oh, yes, I know there is a third-person option as well, but that's, from my perspective so far, it gets a bit janky when it comes to combat in third-person view. But it also has the cardinal sin of being a first-person game stuck at 30 frames per second and with a very narrow field of view, and that's, I think, where it tripped me up. I play my first-person games with a slightly wider than what is usually the defaults field of view. I don't like the sort of, Quake Pro kind of full fishbowl kind of effect, but I do like it a little bit wider than what is normally standard for such games. So the motion blur, the 30 frames per second, the narrow field of view, the first-person perspective, all sort of culminated to make me feel quite motion sick when I was testing this out last night, and that has me worried. So I wanted to reach out to you guys, because this came out yesterday, so a few of you would have played it already, presumably. It's one of the most popular games of all time. So I wanted to reach out to you guys. Did you get it on Switch? Are you feeling the same kind of motion sickness? Are you normally sensitive to that? I'm not normally very sensitive to that, but it does happen in certain games. Certain games, sometimes. It also may have been, I was very tired last night when I was testing it out. I'd just come off an 8-hour-long stream from playing Pokemon, so my eyes were tired. I was staring at a screen all day long, sitting in the chair all day long. Circulation was slow and sluggish and everything. It may have been just that. We'll find out today as we stream it. I've slept, I feel fresh, pouring energy drinks down my neck. But I want to reach out to you guys. Does Skyrim make you sick? Is the basic question. And has Skyrim made you sick in the past? Because I've noticed even on the PC version, when I went to capture some 4K footage for this video, just as a sort of B-roll thing, there's no field of view slider in that game. Which is weird. And there wasn't one in Fallout 4 now that I think about it. I had to install a third-party app to get a field of view slider in that, didn't I? Is that a Bethesda thing? That's a bit shit. Did you play on other consoles? Because, of course, it has been on several other consoles so far. Presumably those are locked at 30 as well? Actually, I wonder if the Xbox One X version, because I do have well, you can't see it on camera, but it's down there. Xbox One X. I wonder if that's also locked at 30. Should check that. Anyway, but I don't want to play it on the Xbox One. If I was going to play it at a console, I'd play it on the PC. I mean, the whole point of the Switch is portability. There's no point playing on Xbox One X when I can just play it on the PC in super duper big 4K and everything. So, yeah, I think the plan is to play through it on the Switch if I don't get sick again for a little while as the vanilla experience, and then if I get hooked on the game, we'll come back to the PC one. I'll mod it all the hell out, because there are just gajillions of mods and crap out there for Skyrim on the PC, which is kind of interesting. But I need the vanilla experience first, so I have a foundation, a point of reference, a bar from which to leap from. So share your experiences with me, and if there's a little icon, I think in that corner there, it might say streaming live on Twitch. You can come watch me play. Give me some advice. I know nothing about the races or the recipes, or I know basically nothing about this game. I haven't researched, I haven't read any facts or guides or walkthroughs. I've watched a couple of videos that compared this to the PlayStation 4 version, and another one that talked about the Switch version in general, and we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. I'll catch you next time, and hope I didn't waste my money on Skyrim for the Switch. Should have decent trade-in value, right? Maybe.